And then God called the dry land earth, because the guy's probably starting to wonder about, But anyway, maybe not, but I mean, saying. So then there was, and then to be lights in the firmament of the heaven. See, so first you said sky, then you said heaven. Kind of an unanswered question, isn't it? And so separate the day from the night and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years. What's this? Oh my gosh, I don't know what that. And so now he's going. Okay, so the stars. Yeah, there's something about heaven. I'm not going to talk about that right now. Heaven and stuff, and then there were seasons. Oh yeah, the guy goes, yeah, oh seasons. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's right. There are seasons: winter, summer, spring, fall, all this stuff. That's right. It's all. Yeah, I get it. It kind of goes along. It's good how it goes. Thing over here. And then, there's probably some other things. I'm not saying that everything about this. So I don't want to make this too long. And then, to rule over the day and over the night. So we're getting light on the earth from the firmaments, and to rule over day and night for the separate the light. I'm going to skip that. Then stop again. There's a lot of gone in a few sentences. Gone really quite a bit of stuff. Then let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures, and let fowl fly above the earth, and then the open firmament of the heaven. So then now there were things that flew. Flying things. So things that operated in the air, not just growing on the ground and stuff. Brought that in. And so, I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but then he explains about sex. He told him to be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters and the seas and let the fowl multiply in the earth. And of course, that's what happened too. There's all this stuff. He's explaining kind of in a story fashion. I'm just going to run down this. I don't want to keep going over this. There's all kinds of things. And then he says, he brings up into the animals, cattle, kind of a more developed animal. Then he says, let us make man in our own image and after our own likeness, and let them have dominion over the seas, fish of the sea, and the river. And now he's saying to the guy, he's like the guy. That's right, what you thought, because the man probably thought already, like, well, hey, I can do stuff, and these animals, they can't do what I can do. He's saying, you're the one. So the guy's probably going, I thought that might be true. I think that might be what it is, Now, and then God created man as an image. So the guy goes, this is good. I'm close to God because, it's like there's a communion. There's a thing there. Not just some strange thing. We're close. And he probably, had some sense of reality. He probably felt that already. So he's going, right. Okay, I understand that. See? So it goes on. I'm not going to go on with everything, but then he brings it all to a close. He talks about every green herb for food. So, the use of these things, the guy knows this. Yeah, that's right, we do. We eat this stuff. So he's relating this whole story. And then, just a little bit more here. And then he finished up. And then it was the morning of the sixth day. Now this is important, I think. So it had a beginning, and all of a sudden, before you know it, it's all there, just like that. Whoop, it's all done. And then it kind of brings time back in the scene, so that was done. Finished. So it's finished. Not going to be any more, is there? It's done. It's finished. Not going to be, next week we're going to create a bunch of other stuff. Oh my God, what's he going to do, No, this is it. This is it. It's comforting. Have the whole picture. Sure. Go over there. Have your dinner. That's it. That kind of thing. Closure. Completion. Then he says, I think this is, again, because the thing that struck me about it is how kind he was, how kind God was to this guy. And how he understood what the man understood. And what he could conceive of and what he could relate to. Okay? Then he says, he rested, and then he rested on the seventh day from all his works which he had made. So what is God communicating to this man? He's saying to him, because they've been doing a lot of work. I mean, he took him in a very short period of time, maybe a few minutes, a story like that. It only takes a few minutes to tell. It's a lot to take him. So now, take a break, rest. See? Johnny, why don't you go get a cookie or something? Because you can see Johnny's kind of starting to strain a little bit. So let's take a break. Go get a cookie. And he's kind of reminding man, showing man by saying, now we're going to do a bunch of stuff, and then kind of take a break. Just can't just go on and on and on. So take a break. Because, after all, so you're kind of created, so you can kind of do that. You can take breaks. It's kind of giving him permission to take a break. When, so we can be like, as we know, that's how things work. You work hard, then you take a break. And we've been doing that forever, haven't we? And that works good, doesn't it? If you try to do it the other way, sometimes, oh gosh, you get into trouble and you're worn out. All kind of things happen, you get angry with people. It's better to, do the right proportion, balance, and then rest. And, I'm not going to talk about that very much, but I am going to say that, kids, when you're explaining something to your children, sometimes you don't tell them everything, and you kind of, maybe, somebody else might say, well, now, wait a minute, Bob, that's not really quite how, come on. I don't want to disturb, tell. That's the way we're just going to keep it simple. Okay? So there is that. Now, I don't think I need to go on much more, and so on and so forth. And then it gets into this whole thing about Adam, the first man, and stuff. It's it's interesting. It's interesting, and it's useful to study because you can understand about yourself and these things and stuff, different things. But what my point is. Let's see. Here's a kind of an unpleasant thing that's happened. Now, God has brought, so man has kind of come along and he's learned this and learned that. It's really been, we think of it, it's been a lot of fun. We learned how to get a wheel, and now we learn how to do this, and then we've understood about this and that, and now we can do all these things. And then lately, God has given us even more. He's expanding the mind. Go to it's like, look at the computer. It's like, whoa, dude, so the mind is, cooking, understanding. The more we understand, that kind of thing, up to a point, mentally. So now here's the thing I'm not happy about this happening. See, God is very kind to this man. and also the other people around him, so they wouldn't disturb him. They could understand this simple story of a few things, not too many things, with some very, crucial, very much to the point things he said about, the order and what things were for, and first. Now, we, have gone on. The Almighty has helped us go on, and so we have gone on. I mean, we've progressed. We've understood more. So now, and then lately, you know, I don't actually believe this, but I mean, you can just see it for your own eyes. That since the late 50s, man's mind has expanded. He's able to think about all kinds of things, and he's looking everywhere and doing all sorts of things. Now that our mind has expanded, we're going back, and out of ignorance, what we're doing, I think, is we're saying, well, I'm not simple like that anymore. You keep telling me simple stuff. I know it's a lot more complicated than that. See? So, but I mean, if you were a parent, and you tell your little kids about the birds and the bees, and you ask them some question where they came from, you might tell them, be truthful, never lie. But you're truthful, you're a good parent. You can be truthful to that child, tell them the truth, but just enough of it. So they'll be okay, and he'll get that. And then later, he gets to be 13 or 14, gets to be a handful then, and then you can tell him some more stuff about, his world, about sex, and as much as that you can tell him, you will. You can tell him. A lot of people, even then, they won't even do it. It's too much. So, people are going back and they're saying, when God was so kind to the simple people that were there and explained to them just perfectly for their own understanding, what they could understand. And they're going back and they're just, they're ungrateful. If God had told them how things work in terms that we understand today, they would have probably gone crazy, or they would have become very confused. It would have been awful. Just like if you told your child, you started sitting down with your child, explaining every single thing about everything you knew about where you came from, and you started, explaining this and that. I don't know about you. I mean, even in high school, we had a class on sex. I didn't like that. I didn't want to hear all this stuff, all these organs and stuff. Oh goodness, I wasn't happy. That was like too much. I didn't want to know all these things. But no, explain it all to you, write down the material picture. This little molecule is this and that happens like that. And make it into some kind of thing that's not very pleasant. Not fun. I didn't